Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to JobsNews.com's Marketing News Live in Quezon City. So today we will be joined by six companies to talk about their vacancies, employment opportunities in the city of Quezon. So this event is in coordination with Colegio de San Lorenzo, Miriam College, and the objective is to prepare students and graduates in their employment needs amidst the challenging times of the new normal. So today we will be joined by speakers from Cognizant, Optum, FactSet, Sykes, John Clements, and Ernst& Young Global Delivery Services. So before we start, may we invite everybody for a short prayer followed by the national anthem.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above, ye heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
So, welcome everybody. Ready na ba kayo? So, by the way, I'm Shari from Academic Linkages. Hope that everybody is excited to learn new things today. So, as usual, please comment your name and school and type in your questions so we can answer them after the talk. So, don't forget to share this video to your friends as well. So, before we start, may we please ask Miss Joy Mendoza, student counselor, student services department of the Colegio de San Lorenzo to give us the opening remarks. Hi, Miss Joy.
Hello, good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon po. Ayan, ma'am. Ma'am, we're live and our students are listening. So if you have announcements or if you have opening messages po for them, inspirational messages, please do so. The floor is yours po.
All right, thank you so much. So, good afternoon, students, and to all our viewers today. Um, I will start my opening remarks with the statistics. This will be very short. So, according to Social Weather Station, during this year of pandemic, unemployment in the Philippines rose by 28 points from 17.5%, thus setting a new record since March 2012. You see, this is bad news, right? But something that we can definitely learn from. The season is teaching us to step up, be resilient, because when reality hits, you can strike back. Today in this webinar, you are choosing to be brave more than ever. You are choosing your future, your career, and yourself. Amidst all the adversities, It is indeed a year which we will never forget. Therefore, let this be a year to remind you how you empowered yourself to chase your dream career, and let your future self thank you for this. And once again, welcome to this webinar. Thank you and have a great day.
All right. So thank you for that, Miss Joy. Ma'am, we are excited to start our events for this afternoon. So thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Please stay on the ano po on the video po natin mamaya. Manood din kayo, ma'am, para makita niyo yung mga questions ng students natin. All right.
Yes, Miss
So
Joy.
thank you,
Thank you.
thank you po, Miss Joy. All right. Ayan. So, thank you, Miss Joy. No? So, this event is in partnership with Colegio de San Lorenzo and Miriam College. So, sila yung ating mga tumulong para ma-push through natin yung event na ito. Ayan. So, if you haven't done yet, please like and share this to your friends and comment your name and school. Ayan, nakita ko yung mga iba sa inyo. Hi sa mga taga St. Paul QC. Ayan. And type in your questions in our comment box later para sa ating mga questions. Ayan. So here is our schedule for this afternoon. So first topic, we will be joined by Cognizant Technology Solutions to discuss enhancing communication skills. So second topic is about balancing productivity and wellness. So this will be done by Optum Global Solutions. And lastly, we will be doing a panel for work opportunities in Quezon City. So we will be joined by John Clements, Consultancy, Sykes Asia, FactSet Philippines, Ernst and Young Global Services Philippines. So yon. So meron tayong mga in-invite na companies to talk about ano ba yung mga vacancies na pwede nyong applyan, or ano ba yung how is it to work for their company, for their industry. So later on, we'll find that out. So shout out to everybody else who is here. So thank you po for being on time. Ayan. So let's kilalanin natin yung first speaker. So let's do our first speaker. So let's introduce her. So our first speaker is Miss Janet Lihod Loman. She is the Deputy General Manager for Training for Cognizant Academy. So she's been with Cognizant for 6 years, and prior to Cognizant, she was a training, quality, recruitment, and performance consultant for various BPOs in the country. She is an HR learning and performance manager for a financial company and a training lead for the financial and technical business units of eTelecare International. Ayan. So, si Miss Janet talagang veterano na, no? Lagi namin siyang kasama sa mga talks natin with other schools. So, Miss Janet, are you there?
Yes.
Hi,
Hello.
ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good
I'm back.
afternoon. Yes.
Afternoon,
Nice to have
Shandy.
you po. Ayan, ma'am. Ma'am, you know the drill. So, we have 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and I'll be back po for the Q&A.
Sure. Thank
Let's,
you.
let's test your screen, ma'am.
Yeah, let me just do that. Hold on. Anyway, so while I'm doing this, I'd like to say hello and good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you again to you guys for inviting me. Walang kasawa-sawa.
Ayan, ma'am.
All
Ma'am,
right.
nakikita ko may mga comments na po tayo. They are from St. Paul. We have students here from Miriam College. Nagko-comment na po sila. Ayan.
Yes. Hello.
Tita Bunyu,
Hello,
hello po.
everyone.
Ayan.
Hello to people from St. Paul, to people from Miriam. I'm actually an alumna
Ayan,
of, well, that time, Miriam College pa yun.
smaller.
So you can just tell how long that was, how long it has been. So, yan. Wait lang po. Ano
Sige,
nangyayari?
sige. All right. It's to everybody
Okay,
who's
hold
watching.
on.
So we for the certificates, we will be sending it to your respective guidance offices. So if you're from CDSL, if you're from Miriam, we will be sending that to the person in charge, and then they will be the one to distribute. So we will send the list of those who attended this session, tas sila yung magdi-distribute ng certificates ninyo. Ayan. Ma'am, I can see the the screen na po.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's start. Okay. So hello again. My name is Janet, and today I'll be talking to you about enhancing your communication skills. So I know that you all are from college, you're all studying, but admit it or not, we all sometimes feel that our communication skills need a lot of help. Diba? Minsan when you're asked to speak, all of a sudden you get tongue-tied, all of a sudden you don't know what to say or how to say things. Okay, so I will be talking about things that are actually based on my own observation, since I've been training for the longest time, okay, and focusing basically on communication skills. And also, I will be sharing some of my experiences because I know if you go to the internet, go online, there will be a lot of data or a lot of tips about how to improve communication skills. So I will not go to that because you can access that anywhere, anytime, anywhere. Okay, so today we'll just talk about my own tips for you. Okay, so relax lang kayo dyan. So what can you do to improve your communication skills? Ayan, may mga nag-nosebleed dyan, di ba? So meron dyan ayaw magsalita at all because they're so shy. They're so afraid they might make mistakes. Okay, so first, let's understand what communication skills or what do we mean by communication skills. Okay, there are two aspects to communication skills. Sorry. Okay, one is the written, okay, and the oral communication. So that's the other one. Syempre, di ba? When you communicate, you sometimes need to write or you need to speak. Okay, so let's start with written communications. Syempre, if you need to improve your written communication skills, you start with grammar, di ba? Dapat tama yung grammar mo. Okay, so you should be able to, not really memorize, but at least apply correct subject-verb agreement, yung mga ganyan, tenses, right? Past tense ba dapat, present tense ba dapat, and so on and so forth, right? That's part of grammar. And then, of course, vocabulary. You need to enrich your vocabulary. You have to have the right words to express your thoughts, to express, your message. Otherwise, you might be misinterpreted if you don't have the right words to use. Okay? And then, of course, you have syntax, which is the way you organize your words in a sentence and as well as your sentence in a paragraph. Okay? So that's syntax. So, sometimes it is more effective probably to use the verb in front of everything else, or sometimes you need to be a little bit more flowery in your message. It depends, okay? Then, of course, format and structure. Format and structure will have a lot to do with similar to syntax, but this time, pag sinabi nating format, it's more about, style, how it looks, right? Structure, meaning if you have your beginning, you have your middle, and your end, hindi siya magulo, right? So you know how to start, and then you expound in the middle, and then how to end. That is your structure. It has to be organized, okay? Thought organization, especially because you don't want to jump from one thought to the other, whether it's written or oral, right? Whenever you do that, whenever you express your thoughts or you say something about things, dapat organized so that when people read or listen to you, right, they will understand you clearly, okay? Because you don't jump from one point to the other. Spelling is important, of course, you know that, diba? When you're writing. And punctuation is very, very important. Sometimes you give the wrong meaning if you have the wrong punctuation, okay? And I remember my mother-in-law when she messages us, text message, walang punctuation at all, no period. So bahala ka mag-isip where a sentence starts or ends, okay? So it's very difficult to understand if you don't have proper punctuation. Now, that's written communications. But of course, when it comes to oral communications, similar, okay? You have almost everything, okay? You have grammar, same thing. You have vocabulary, of course. And then you have syntax, of course, the way you organize your sentences. Structure and organization, same thing. But this time, of course, part of your oral communication skills is your pronunciation, okay? Now, we don't expect you to speak with an accent, right? We don't expect you, again, it depends on your goal, right? If you want to speak with an accent, that's fine. But in reality, all you need to do is to speak clearly, Okay, your pronunciation would have to be very, very crisp and clear. Okay, but of course, you have to know the correct English pronunciation if you're speaking in English. You don't want to use the Tagalog pronunciation when you're using English words. So that's it. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. And that part of oral communication skills is, of course, your tone, your delivery, right? It's your voice, okay? So part of it is how you enunciate, how you go up and down in, your sentences, what you stress, okay? Like what I just did, what you stress, okay? You stress some words. That's part of your delivery. That's very important because sometimes your tone and your delivery will carry the message, because in speaking you don't have punctuation marks, right? It is your tone and your delivery that will indicate or imply the punctuation. Okay, and then of course accuracy and conciseness. Okay, accuracy and conciseness will have a lot to do with you speaking straight to the point, going directly to the point. Okay, you don't want to beat around the bush because that's boring. Okay, especially if you're talking for hours and hours and you're just saying the same thing. Okay, so you have to be very accurate and you have to be very concise. Okay, so these are some of the aspects of communication skills that you need to take note of, so that when you want to enhance your communication skills, these are the things that you need to enhance. Okay, so let's see. In everything, okay, if you want to improve, you have to empower yourself. It's not like, you just sit there and wait until you get better. Okay, so you have to do something to make you better. Okay, and that's what we mean when we say empower yourself. So how do you empower yourself? From the very beginning, as early as elementary. So for some of you who may have little sisters or younger brothers and sisters, encourage them to read. Okay, read English books. Okay, because that will help them not only enrich their knowledge but also their vocabulary, and then they will get to see how words are used in sentences, how sentences are formed. Okay, that helps a lot. Okay, because it does not only help you increase your knowledge about things, but it also helps you in organizing your own thoughts, because you can see the pattern when you read. Everything is there. It's actually very, very interesting. If you like reading, that's very good. Now, what do you read? You don't just read anything, okay? I would encourage you to read, of course, something that's written in English if you want to improve your English communication skills. If you want to improve your Tagalog, right? A lot of us nowadays, especially young people like you, don't even know how to speak Tagalog correctly anymore. So if you want to also improve that, read Tagalog books, okay? Now, I encourage you to read books, reference materials. Okay, it could be science, it could be um, anything. Okay, but as long as they're reference materials, not just any article or chismis from a magazine. Okay, I also encourage you to read the dictionary. This is something that we do in training in Cognizant to encourage our trainees to have a dictionary and use it, not just to look for the words and the meanings, but also for the pronunciation. Okay, that will help you a lot. And of course, you need to read news. You need to be updated. Okay, articles, worthwhile articles. As I said, wag naman yung puro chismis. Okay, so, and of course, sometimes blogs. Okay, you can read blogs. Again, it depends, because I appreciate and I admire bloggers and vloggers, okay? But some of them, again, depending on what you want to learn from them, some may not be good sources or resources of English. So, wag yun, okay? Mamili naman kayo, okay, of the blogs and even vlogs that you can benefit from in terms of learning how to speak English better, okay? And then when you do that, take note of the author, take note of the source, take note of the date it was published. Baka naman sobrang luma na yan and the information is no longer, applicable today, right? And it's no longer true. Okay, and the accuracy of the information. Okay, so you don't just read anything. Of course, reading anything is also good because it helps you just practice and get the hang of it, right? But if you really want to learn, make sure you get that learning from authorized people, authorized publishers, authorized authors. Okay, so there. So be careful. Don't just read anything you get your hands on. Okay. And then watch and listen. Now, of course, watching will have a lot to do with ayan, movies, di ba? Especially during the pandemic, a lot of people are now watching Netflix. Okay, I also learned how to watch Netflix, especially the Korean novelas. Okay, I love it. But of course, when we talk about enhancing your English communication skills, watch English movies. Okay, there you can mimic the way they talk. Okay, and then if you don't understand a word or a phrase they use, look it up in the dictionary, look it up in the internet, i-Google mo, right? Or i-Wikipedia mo. Okay, documentaries are also good, news and vlogs, as I mentioned earlier. And when you listen, you can also listen to podcasts, educational audio materials. Marami naman yan sa YouTube. You can find them also there. And of course, songs. I have a friend in Malaysia who actually put up a school for Malaysians, of course, focusing on enhancing communication skills. And they used music. Okay, a lot of people actually learn how to speak English by singing songs, okay, and understanding the lyrics and pronouncing those words in the lyrics. So that's how people learn. And that could also be very effective. So you can try that, okay? So enjoy ka pa, diba? Okay, now when you also do that, when you watch and you listen, what do you watch and how do you watch or how do you listen? Okay, sometimes, I would always remind my trainees and the people that I work with, you have to know how to listen properly because sometimes we hear a lot of things and we think it's right. Diba? Porket narinig mo, akala mo, tama na yun. But you have to be very careful and you know what to listen for, okay? Now, in everything, okay, if you can see the picture, ayan, nakababad talaga siya, ang lamig-lamig, okay? That's what you call immersion, naka-immerse siya. Okay, so when we say immersion, this is the best way to learn a language. So I got the chance to live in Japan for a while, and I think it was the best example of immersion because when I got there, I didn't know how to speak Japanese at all, but I was immersed in the language. Nobody spoke English. Okay, everything you see is Japanese. When you when you turn on rather your TV set, then everything is Japanese. So that's immersion. You don't have a choice, right? Immerse yourself in the language. Read, watch, speak the language because it's the only way for you to really be comfortable in the language. Okay, immerse yourself. Now, part of improving your communication skills is intention. What do I mean? What do I mean by intention? Okay, let me give you an example. My daughter loves movies. She's into films, arts, photography, and so on and so forth. Now, this is what I learned from her. When she watches movies, first she told me, I watch and enjoy the movie. Watch the plot, how the actors act, etc. How we normally do, right? When you watch a movie, that's what you do. You enjoy the movie. And then if she likes it, she watches it again. But this time with the intention of looking at what she wants to learn. For example, if she wants to focus uh, on the cinematography, if she wants to focus on how it was directed or how the script was created and delivered. So she listens to them. In other words, in Tagalog, hinihimay niya yun isa-isa. Now, we can do that. When we want to learn communication, rather when we want to enhance our communication skills, diba? When you listen or you watch, you have to listen with intent. In other words, while you're listening, you pick up those words, pick up those phrases, and then keep them in mind. Take note. Okay, that's why the picture there is somebody taking down notes. Because when you have the intention to learn something, you take down notes. Okay, take note of the things that you hear and see. And of course, you have to understand. Okay, let me give you an example. Most of the mistakes that we have is when we rely on something that sounds like something. It doesn't mean that because it sounds like it, meaning yun na yun, right? That's it. So here's an example. Okay, here are common mistakes that we Filipinos make. I'm sure you've heard some of these lines, diba? Here, for example, oh, it's a blessing in the skies. Okay, langit. Okay. I feel relaxed. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I need to speak with confident. I am not confidence. Okay, and here's another one. A lot of people use Taglish. Taglish na nga, mali pa. Okay, here, I always hear this, and this is, I think, one of my pet peeves. Okay, nakaka-boring. Okay, and ay, naboboring ako. Okay, something like that. So here is an example of you or people listening to some English expressions, but not really understanding them and not really knowing how to use them properly because they don't understand, right? So that's what I mean by understanding and comprehending. Okay, so for example, the sentence is actually blessing in disguise. Naka-disguise yung blessing. So you're not, you feel that it's not a blessing, but actually it is. That's why it's in disguise. Feel relaxed. Dapat may ed yan, okay? You don't feel relaxed, but you feel relaxed, okay? And then you should be ashamed also, past tense, of yourself, ed. And you don't say you speak with confident, but you speak with confidence, okay? Confident is used to describe something. She's a confident person, so it's an adjective. Confidence, on the other hand, is a noun, okay? It's what that attitude or that behavior is called. It's called confidence. And you can describe yourself using the adjective confident by saying, I am not confident or I am confident. Okay. And then, of course, bore is the root word, right? The word bore. And then you have your other words, boring, boredom, etc. So you have to understand, ano ba yung root word? Now, in Tagalog, of course, when you say nakaka-boring, it's like nakakainip. So it's redundant, nakakainip. Okay, but you need to use the root word, nakaka-bore. Okay, or nabobore ako. That's the root word. Okay, so this is what I mean by comprehending, understanding, what you hear, processing that so that you're able to use them correctly. Okay, that's comprehension. And then there is application. You don't just listen, you don't just read, you don't just immerse yourself in the language. You have to use it. You have to apply it. You speak it, you write it. Okay? So that's what we mean by application. Now, of course, when you do your application, I would discourage you from speaking in Taglish or writing in Taglish, combining Tagalog and English in one sentence. Now, sometimes it's it's necessary if there is no such word to translate a specific Tagalog word or specific English word. That's fine. And I would be, I'm okay with you speaking, for example, one complete English sentence, following it up with one complete Tagalog sentence. That's fine. Okay. But if you really want to improve your communication skills, especially English, try to finish your sentences in English. If you start in English, finish it in English, right? If you start in Tagalog, then finish it in Tagalog. That's fine. Okay. Because you don't want to be like speaking in Taglish all the time. You will not be able to enhance your communication skills that way. And do some tongue twisters. It's not really just about, teaching your tongue or your mouth how to enunciate, right? And to articulate words. But for example, in this particular tongue twister, it says Betty bought some butter, right? So the difference between butter and butter, you have your short O and your schwa, which is your butter. The butter is bitter, but if I put it in my batter, that's a short A. So here, so you're not just exercising your mouth, but you're also trying to understand the different sounds, the different vowel sounds, and the importance of enunciating and articulating them correctly. Because if you don't, you will be giving a different meaning. Like if I will read all of the butters the same way, it will have a different meaning. For example, if I say Betty bought some butter, but the butter is bitter if I put in my butter. So there's no difference at all, right? So that's another way of really practicing using tongue twisters. It's not just, sing it fast. That's not your intention. Your intention is to produce the sounds correctly, not as fast as you can. That is the goal of the tongue twister. Okay, not the way not the pacing, but the articulation. So that's how you apply tongue twisters. And finally, keep it short and simple. KISS. Okay, so remember the acronym KISS. When you speak, when you write, don't try to impress people by using a lot of words. Yes, I said that you need to learn new words, enhance your vocabulary, excuse me. But the reason for that is if you have a rich vocabulary, you should be able to use the most accurate word to describe something. So you don't have to explain something in long sentences when you can actually use just 2 or 3 words to describe it. Okay, so keep it short and simple. So that's why you need to enrich your vocabulary. And when you speak, make sure you go straight to the point. Okay, so that's what we mean by keeping it short and simple. Now do that. Write it down first. Write your thoughts and then see, oh, okay, can I still shorten this and still give the same effective meaning? Then write it down again. That's how you practice initially. But eventually, you should also do that without writing it down. Just think it out. Okay, and then think about it, organize the sentence in your mind, and then speak it. And that's how you practice. Okay, now practice, practice, practice. Always practice. Okay, and as I always say, it's not just about practice makes perfect. Sometimes that's not true. It's correct practice makes permanent. Okay, sometimes we practice pero mali pa yung pagpa-practice natin. Okay, so we pronounce the words erroneously, mali, okay? And we keep doing it that way, so nape-perfect na natin yung wrong way. So don't do that. Practice correctly so that it becomes a habit, it becomes permanent. Okay? So that's those are my tips for enhancing communication skills. I hope you learned something from me today. And if you have questions, we're open to questions now.
Thank you for that, Miss Janet. Ang dami ko natutunan. Ma'am, ayoko na po mag-English.
Ganon.
Ayoko na. Baka po i-correct niyo ako.
Ganon.
Alright. Alright. So, ma'am, I prepared a couple of questions here. So, while we're waiting for the viewers to send in their questions. So, guys, if you have questions, put them in our comment box. Okay. Ma'am, for Filipino speakers, since you've been training trainees for a long time, ano po yung hardest competency to improve or hardest skill to master? Is it pronunciation? Is it comprehension? So, ano po yung pinakamahirap para sa atin?
Actually, it's I would say pronunciation, because let's say for grammar is something that you will learn on, if you read a book, it's a rule. All you need to do is follow the rule, right? Pronunciation is more physiological. It has a lot to do with how your mouth is formed, or how you form words, and even your experiences, diba? Sometimes you've been speaking that way since you were born. So it's very difficult to undo. Right. And one of the difficult things that we need to correct also when we teach pronunciation, yung typical Filipino errors like P and F, right? Conflicting or confusing the P with the F and vice versa. Sometimes even B and V, TH and T, things like that. Those things are very difficult to correct. Grammar is something you can practice, something that you can just write down and then learn. But pronunciation is one of the most difficult to address.
All right. Okay. Next question, ma'am. Ma'am, as I understand that if an applicant, fail their language aptitude test, I don't know what you call it. Would they be automatically eligible for the training over at Cognizant Academy, or is there different parameters for it?
Okay, we have 2 kinds, right? So we have what we call double blackout. Okay, we have voice accounts and we have non-voice accounts. Okay, so for voice, of course, definitely one of the requirements will be your oral communication skills. So if you fail the mock call and the interview, you always get a chance to join the non-voice account. Okay, so for the non-voice account, you just need to pass the written tests. So it's not really just about speaking, but it's more of the writing. So don't worry. So if you fail the oral test, you can go for the non-voice account.
All right. Ma'am, we have a question coming in from Isa Carion. Ayan. Miss Janet, do you have any advice on how we can avoid stuttering when presenting, for example, or giving a talk?
Okay, that's a good question. As I mentioned earlier, practice is actually one of the best, if not the best way to avoid anything like that. And then, of course, tongue twisters. I mentioned that earlier. So when you do tongue twisters, it exercises your mouth so that you don't, okay, stutter. Okay. And of course, the other thing is sometimes we stutter because we're trying to think of a word to say, but we cannot find it, right? Or we're trying to express something, but we cannot find the right organization. So that's why it is important for you to really organize your thoughts, learn, new words so you can easily find them when you need them, and then be able to, when you practice, be able to organize your sentences in a way that it's easy for you to express them. So you don't pause and think in the middle of your presentation how you will be presenting them. If you have been practicing anyway, it should become automatic.
All right. Okay. Ayan, ma'am. From another question from John Lloyd Apolinario. Do you
Mhm.
have any advice on how to enhance self-confidence? Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I like your name, John Lloyd, huh? Okay, so enhancing self confidence is really about you convincing yourself that you are confident. Okay, it starts from you. No one should be able to put you down if you believe in yourself. You should start from that. And then, of course, practice is always the best thing. Palagi yan, practice. Whether it's basketball or speaking or singing, right? You know that you can do it because you've done it several times before, right? So that's what practice does. Okay, that's what makes you confident. Okay, so if you're doing something for the first time, it's normal for you to be scared, to be not confident. So don't worry about being shy or being a little bit afraid. If it's your first time to speak or to do things, that's normal. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're not confident. You just need more practice. Okay.
All right. All right. So that's it, guys. So if you have questions or if you have concerns, you can reach out to Cognizant. You can check their vacancies. It's at
Mhm.
www.jobs180.com/Cognizant. So you can find their vacancies, you can apply to them, and they will process your application. All right. So thank you again, Ms. Janet, for being with us this afternoon. We hope to have you in the next few sessions, Papa. So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you again. Thank you
Stay
guys.
safe,
Good luck.
ma'am. Bye. All right.
Bye.
So, guys, if you have more questions coming in, please keep them coming. Ayan, ayoko na mag-English, Tagalog na lang. Yeah, ako. But, ayan. But the thing is, we're going to have another speaker for another topic. This one is from Optum Global Solutions. So our next topic, ayan. So this is for everybody who's stuck at home, trying to focus on academic work or an actual work, ayan. So our next topic is balancing productivity and wellness. So this will be discussed by Ms. Reese Pasha of Optum. So Ms. Reese is a college graduate from the De La Salle University, Manila, where she finished her course of International Studies majoring in European Studies. She then started her first job in Citigroup Business Process Solutions back in 2010 as as a sourcing associate. So today she is currently employed for more than 7 years with Optum Global Solutions as a recruitment manager who handles specifically the campus and graduates program. Ayan. So Ms. Reese, if you're there na po, please join our stream. So let's just wait for Ms. Reese. So again, announcements. If you guys have questions, please put them in our comment box and we will try to address it later. If you guys are asking about your certificates, it will be sent to your designated guidance offices. So we will be sending it to your school and then they will be the one to distribute the certificates. All right. So let's just wait for Miss Reese to come in. So we will be playing a video, a short video. So while we're waiting for Miss G. So there.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com and click Register now. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and is easy to recall by potential employers, and fill out the other information needed.
After you register, go to your email address and validate your jobs180.com account to activate.
Step 2. Complete your resume link. When creating your resume link, make sure to complete your personal and contact information, your profile picture, and your cover photo. You can also put your objectives, work options, work experience, certifications, achievements, skills and languages, references, and portfolio.
Your resume link also features different themes and a cover photo. Step 3. Submit your resume link.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link, or you can even share the job vacancy with your friends.
You can also apply for jobs outside jobs180.com by sending your resume link through any platform.
Register. Complete.
Submit your resume link.
So what are you waiting for? Turn your life around by creating your own resume link and applying for your dream job.
Yan, so we're back. So now we're just waiting for Miss Reese to come in. So while we're at that, I would like to make announcements. So if you guys are interested to attend the next few webinars, so we will be hosting one next week for Cavite State University. The week after that, we will be doing one for University of Visayas, and we have another event that's ending the December calendar, parang ganyan, ending the 2020 year. So we're doing another webinar session for that. So please stay tuned on our Facebook page for the topics, and you can attend any of those once they're live. So basta register lang kayo. Ayan. So while we're waiting for the others, ayan. Sorry. Again, if you have questions, you can put it on our comment box. So our next topic will be on balancing productivity and wellness. So, ayan. So, yun yung topic natin mamaya. So, pwede kayong magtanong if you're having problems or having issues with motivation. Siyempre, mahirap maging motivated right now with productivity. So, madami sa atin tamad-tamad, masarap mag-Netflix, masarap matulog kasi nasa bahay. But, of course, we should be disciplined. Ayan, di ba? So, later, i-discuss yan ng ating second speaker from Optum Global Solutions. For our last panel, last session, last na part, we will be doing naman yung panel natin. Ayan. So, yun naman mga work opportunities, mga companies, mga employers that we invited for you guys, for them to answer your questions and for you to know what it's like to work in their company. So, ano ba yung mga advice nila for fresh grads? Ayan. So, we're ready? Can I check if we're ready? Yeah. So, our next presenter is Ms. Reese Pasha. So she's the recruitment manager for Optum Global Solutions. She is a college graduate from the De La Salle University Manila, where she finished her course of international studies major in European studies. She then started her first job in Citigroup Business Solutions back in 2010 as a sourcing associate, and today she's currently employed for more than 7 years with Optum Global Solutions as a recruitment manager, who handles specifically the campus and graduates program. Ayan. So, Ms. Reese, if you're available, can you join our stream? Hi, ma'am. Ayan.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Ayan, ma'am. Just in time.
Yes. I had a
Ma'am,
little bit of connection issues. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
you know the drill. So I'll leave it to you. I'll leave the floor to you. You have 20 minutes. I'll be back po for the Q&A.
Sure thing, Shari. And let me know, Shari, if you see my screen so I
Yes,
can
all right.
start.
And guys, please don't be shy. So, comment lang kayo ng comment. Tanong lang kayo ng tanong. We'll address them.
Correct.
Kahit hindi correct, kahit hindi sobrang related dun sa topic, we will try to answer. Okay?
Mhm.
So, ayan. So, Ms. Reese, I can see your screen. So,
Perfect.
you're good, ma'am.
All right. Thank you again, Ms. Shari, and everyone. Good afternoon. I am Christine Pasha from Optum Global Solutions Philippines. And today I will be discussing our main topic, which is productivity and wellness. But before that, I'd like to also introduce myself. I know Ms. Shari already introduced me in a very formal way, but how I'd like to introduce myself would be in a more casual way so that at least we can keep this webinar very engaging and also very fun at the same time. So let's begin. All right. So again, my name is Christine Therese Huang Pasha, and I am a recruitment manager under the Campus and Graduates program from Optum Global Solutions Philippines for 8 years already. So I can't believe I've been with my organization that long, because I'm very happy with the team that I work with and the company that keeps me safe and takes care of me very well with my development. Also, a lot of people think I'm a very positive person, so I've coined the hashtag Positive Pasha. I always would like to look into the positive side of life, especially this year when the pandemic hit. We had to really change our mindset very quickly into thinking very positively despite the situation. I'm also part of a family of 5. I'm the middle child of my two sisters, and my youngest sister would have Down syndrome. So when she was born, my parents, of course, wanted more answers regarding her condition. So they have formed the Down Syndrome Association of the Philippines and are part of the founding members. So in this association, we are able to truly educate new parents with children with Down syndrome on the condition of their children. And of course, there's nothing to be worried about because they have several opportunities as well for them. I've also been in my relationship with my husband for already 11 years this coming December. We've been married for 2 years already. And so for the people out there that doesn't believe in forever, ako, I truly believe na may forever talaga. And a lot of people would also be very much surprised that I do enjoy basketball. I have been playing basketball since I was in grade 4. And in my spare time, and if I can have the opportunity to play with my teammates or anyone really who wants to play basketball, I take that. I grab that opportunity and just really relax playing the sport. And lastly, I really enjoy musical theater and Broadway. So I really enjoy listening to musicals and even watching them on YouTube. It's a way for me to calm down, to get me really excited and motivated as well. And it really inspires me to do my life's best work, to really just enjoy what's happening around me. So basically, that's who I am. And I hope you got to know me even better. And before I delve into our main topic, which is productivity and wellness and balancing them out, I'd also want to share a few things about my organization that I work for. So I am part of a company called Optum Global Solutions Philippines, and we are the number one healthcare company in the United States, standing at the Fortune 7 ranking in the Fortune 500 companies. So we do actually outrank more familiar brands that you would know, which is like Apple or let's say Citibank and JP Morgan Chase. So we outrank those under the Fortune 500. And we are approximately almost 200 employees worldwide. And in the Philippines, we are over already 20,000 employees and still growing very quickly in the Philippines. So we also serve about 124 million individual consumers. And definitely we work with a diverse set of clients across 150 countries. So we're very much present globally, and we make sure that we touch nearly every aspect of healthcare financing and delivery. So we want to make sure that healthcare is very much accessible for every individual, and we make sure that it's accessible through virtually or physically. So I think locally, if you can compare us to an organization or a company, I think the closest I can think of would really be like MaxiCare, IntelliCare, even PhilHealth actually would fall under that. But we're not we're a private organization. We're not government owned. So definitely more of your MaxiCares and IntelliCares, but definitely we touch more of a more bigger healthcare and global aspect of it, not just healthcare insurances. So that's really mainly who we are. We're also very much proud that we have a very rich culture in our organization. And I can say that I'm very proud that my organization is very much proud about the culture that we have. So our mission is to help people live healthier lives and to help make the health system work for everyone. And it's very important that as you walk into the doors of Optum, as you may be like thinking about your opportunities in Optum, or you want to apply to our organization, we already treat you as a potential employee of the organization. And during your recruitment process, we already share with you our mission and values, because that's how important it is for us to have the mission and values of the organization in each individual of the company. So for our values, we have integrity, compassion, relationships, innovation, and performance. And we make sure that it's in that order, because it doesn't work if you jumble it up. Because we make sure that with integrity, that you honor your commitments and never compromise your ethics. You'll be able to be very compassionate and walk in the shoes of the people that you serve or that we serve. And with integrity and compassion, definitely you will build your relationships that you would need to innovate and think of new ideas and learn from your past experiences. And with the four first values, you'll be able to perform and demonstrate excellence in anything that you do. So that's why it's very important that as a potential employee of the organization and as an employee of the organization, you really live through by the values of the company. Now, we are also located in four major sites in the Philippines. Our main site and our first site actually would be in Taguig. And we do have two buildings there in Science Hub. So this is actually the buildings across the Venice Piazza Mall, where there's the Grand Canal. And followed by our second site, which is in Cebu City. And this would be in the Calic Center and also the Philinvest building. So we also have two buildings there. Our third site would be in Quezon City and UP Techno Hub, where we also have two sites. And lastly, our newest and our biggest site, which is in Alabang, we have three buildings there. And this is located in Northgate Cyber Zone in Alabang. So definitely we are looking into growing further since the organization just keeps getting bigger every year. So we make sure that we are able to look into other locations around the Philippines so that we can branch out also nationwide. Now, for our career areas, we do have several opportunities that you can apply to in our organization. And our four main businesses would really mainly be under technology, customer service, the clinical business, as well as shared services or for the leadership roles. For the technology business, this would be um, the the business that is growing very quickly in the Philippines. There are more opportunities that are coming to the country and for the technology business. And it's very exciting because we get to also grow the business in the Philippines. So positions that are offered under technology would be mainly analytics, automation, information security, and data science. And for our customer service business, we also handle medium to high complex customer service roles. So it's not your typical order taking or booking of flights. What we make sure is that we are able to really discuss with our patients, even our providers who are mainly the secretaries of the doctors or secretaries of the hospitals. And we make sure that we're able to really become the bridge between the two. We are able to help them, let's say, process their insurances, or we're able to process what they would really need to make their lives better or make their lives healthier. And for a clinical business, this is, of course, where usually our medical allied graduates apply to. So certain roles that would require registered nurses. So that's your PHRNs, USRNs, medical coders, pharmacy graduates. We do have several openings under the clinical business. And lastly, it would be our shared services roles, where you will handle more of leadership roles under, let's say, under our recruitment or a human capital, human resources team, and really help with employee engagement and to make things work even better for all the employees of the organization. So mainly those are our four businesses. And if you'd like to see more of our opportunities, you can look into our careers website, which is workatom.com. And very quickly, before I already start with our main topic, I'd like to touch upon our how Optum was able to respond to the pandemic. So again, last March, it came to us as quite a surprise, really, that the cases in the Philippines were increasing very quickly, and of course, everyone was a bit nervous. We were all on our toes because we didn't know what to do yet. But I'm very glad and very grateful that my organization and its business leaders worked very quickly in ensuring that the business continuity plans of the organization were processed very quickly so that at least they could live through the mission of the organization, which is to put our people first. And I really saw that, especially in the past 8 months, since we have been working from home since the lockdown happened. We really had to take a pause, though, like all organizations had to really think of right plans and processes on how we are able to keep everyone safe. So, ever since the lockdown, we have been employing and paying full wages to our entire workforce. Again, business continuity plans and clinical safety protocols were put into place so that we keep our teams engaged and we make sure, of course, that they are very safe when they do their work. And we also continued to recruit. So we have our virtual hiring process to protect our candidates and our employees. And also, of course, 90% of our non-clinical workforce was transitioned to work at home status while maintaining all service levels. So again, it was very much important that we were placed as a priority of the organization. And we really felt that we had our business leaders go to our homes to bring our devices to our own homes, right? So it really shows how the mission and values and culture of the organization shine through during these times. And of course, um, to add to that, we still also were able to donate to several parts of the of different countries around the world where we are located in, and specifically in the Philippines, we tied up with Caritas Manila, and we were able to donate a sum to help, of course, our brothers and sisters. So mainly, I'm very proud to be part of Optum, especially during this year, 2020, the crazy year, because I was well taken care of by my organization, and definitely they still continue to take care of us and make sure that priority is the safety of all their employees. So with that, that's basically a few facts about my organization. And if you want, again, to learn more about our organization, you could always talk to me. You can drop me a message on Facebook or LinkedIn, even through my email, which I'll be sharing later after the whole presentation. Now, on to our main topic, which is balancing productivity and wellness in the new normal. So, when I was asked to do this topic, I was like, this is quite interesting because honestly, working from home for already 8 months, you have to really adjust. I mean, you're very lucky. I mean, at least from my experience, I'm very lucky that I was able to work from home. But then it's again your home, right? There's a big difference between the office and your home. And in your head, you really put different schedules or routines that you have for your home and the office. But now, since you are working from home, you have to kind of marry the two and adjust to all these different adjustments. May it be internet connection or having background noise during, let's say, a meeting. So it's very different, and you have to definitely try to adjust to these things, and you have to adjust to these things, rather not try, but you have to adjust to these things so that you could still be very productive and also kind of balance your wellness as well, because you're working again from home. So let me talk about that even further. Now, with my example here, how do you think Jane is feeling, right? So most of us, especially when the pandemic hit, we were quite bummed. A lot of people were kind of like in a place of limbo. They didn't know what to do. How am I going to continue studying? I'm going to be studying from home. That's going to be very different from the past years that I was in school. Or I'm graduating this year. I'm not going to have a graduation ceremony. So a lot of people had very mixed emotions about the lockdown and the pandemic. But I think these words that I've placed are kind of a lot of the feelings that everyone was going through when the lockdown happened. And even now, maybe some of you even feel this still right now, because it's true. It's hard to adjust to something that's new, right? Change is inevitable, but again, adjusting to the change, that's really how you'd like to approach it. So Jane here, my example, looks very bored, tired, distracted, unmotivated, and lazy. May it be she's working from home or because she's bummed out because of the pandemic. But again, this is your opportunity to really look into how you are able to adjust. It also shows your strength and character on how you're able to adjust in these situations. And I hope that I can give you a few tips on to adjust also to working from home and also being productive at the same time, but also taking care of yourself, right? Now, productivity and work is very important to everyone. That's what they try to teach working from home. And also in the office, they always make it a point to tell us that it's very important that you have work life balance when we were still in the office working. So we tried our best to look into the work life balance situation, right? But just to define it, work life balance is an important aspect in maintaining rhythm between personal life and professional life. Remote working or work from home has been part of our daily routine life, which is now not limited to the office, but to family too. Because now your office is already at home, right? So, because of the shift in the new normal, which is working from home, studying from home, we had to bring the work that we do in school or in the office to our homes. So, again, it was a very big adjustment on how you were going to deal with this. It's very important that you are able to really look into ways on how to balance the two out, because one way or another, you're going to get distracted. As Shari mentioned a while ago, she said that ang sarap nga mag-Netflix or just to relax, take a nap, or watch your favorite K-drama, diba? But then you also have to be productive and think about also, I have to finish certain tasks for school. I have projects to finish. Or if you're working, I also have to finish my whole shift and also complete my PowerPoint for a certain presentation that I need to present to my manager. So these are the things that you want to complete, but also have several distractions at home. So what I wanted to do is, and you ask yourself really mainly, with all the changes nowadays, how do I keep myself productive and balance my well-being in the time of Corona, right? It's a lot. You have to adjust to the main tasks and what you have to do. And you have to make sure that you are able to really adjust to the new normal. So these are a few tips that I'd want to share with you. The 8 tips that I want to share with you on how to balance your productivity and also well-being at home. So let's go through them. Number one is, of course, be kind to yourself. That's the first thing that you should think about, actually, because the fact that you have been already doing online school or blended learning for already 8 months, that's already such a big feat. It's such a big success on your end because you were able to adjust. You also were very much kind to yourself in adjusting to the whole thing. Since the lockdown happened, we had to really make sure that everything worked well for us to continue doing our work, continuing doing our schoolwork. So we made sure that we are able to really be kind to ourselves in adjusting to this new normal. So it's very important that you think about those things and appreciate yourself, right? Appreciate that you've already gone this far. It's almost December, it's almost Christmas and the holidays that we're able to celebrate with family, kind of take a break from school, and really just be very grateful for what has come this year. 2020 again has been a very very big roller coaster ride. And again, this is a time where you think about, hey, I survived this and I'm still surviving this and I can continue to survive it. So again, it's very important to appreciate yourself and be kind to yourself in adjusting to this new normal because it's very hard. And the fact that you're still continuing doing that, you should be very proud for yourself. So again, number one is be kind to yourself. Number two is limit news and social media consumption. So again, um, since we're just at home and we have kind of more time than usual than when we were going to school or in the office, there's a lot of time, there's a lot of Wi-Fi, there's a lot of data that we are able to use to go on social media. We have to keep looking and checking up on the news. We want to know what's happening, let's say, with the COVID um, with the COVID response of the Philippines, what's happening to, let's say, what's happening in the news, or who's arguing now on Facebook, right? So we always want to be in the know. But again, sometimes it's just too much and it's very, very distracting from your work. So it's very important that you limit the news and social media consumption on a day-to-day basis so that you don't get distracted in the work that you're really supposed to do and the task at hand. So it's important maybe you give yourself like a 15-minute break of like from work. You give yourself a 15-minute break to look into social media, take a break, look at Facebook or Instagram. But again, make sure that you have the self-control to stop and continue working and continue completing your tasks. So again, it's very important to limit that because it also affects your emotions. Sometimes when we see news about what's happening to the pandemic here in the Philippines or what's happening, let's say the outside your environment, it's very distracting. It gets you really mad, it gets you sad, and that will also really affect how you're able to approach the work that you're doing. So it's very important, again, to just take a break from social media, take a break from the news, and just concentrate. Um, Meditate first or pray, and then continue your work so that you're able to complete the tasks that you have to do for that day. Now, number three would really be establishing a routine. So, again, you'd want to look for a schedule for you on a day to day basis on how you're able to complete your tasks and be very productive at that, but also taking care of yourself at the same time. So, let's say you wake up at 8 in the morning, you eat your breakfast, maybe do yoga, have a run, and by 9 or 10 a.m., that's when you can start your day to do your work. Take your lunch, of course. Don't forget to take your lunch break at 12, and then start working again by 1. And then take a break, let's say at 4 o'clock. You can take a 15-minute break, 30-minute break, or an hour break. It really depends on how you want, but make sure that you're able to go back to your work. And also, of course, establish that wellness of taking breaks, because wellness is very much attached to taking breaks, because that would help you really relax again, because you don't want to burn yourself out from all the work that you're doing, right? So that's why it's very important to establish a routine on a day-to-day basis so you can balance also your productivity and wellness at the same time. Now, in relation to that, of course, it's taking a break. So again, when you establish a routine, it's important to put breaks in that routine, because again, you don't want to be burned out. You don't want to continue just working and working, and then you look at the clock, it's already 12 midnight na pala, and you've been working apparently for already 10 hours or 9 hours straight. So make sure that you're able to take your breaks. That's a coffee break that you want. You can also do your social media break here. You can work out. I've seen that on social media, a lot of people have been working out. They do a lot of jump ropes right now, and they're doing tricks already. So it's something that maybe you'd like to do during your break. But again, it's very important to take a break, take a step back from what you are doing with your tasks. It could be again from school or from the office, or from mainly your work, and really recharge and make sure that you refresh yourself so that you can continue working and continue completing your tasks. Now, number six would really be figure out your personal motivators. So I think this would more lean out towards wellness, because also, actually, no, it just works hand in hand with productivity and wellness. Because when you figure out your personal motivators, you definitely will know how you're able to kind of, what's the word? You kind of inspire yourself to do your work even better. And you'll be more productive when you're inspired, right? So make sure that you figure out your personal motivators. Why am I doing this? Why am I, let's say, completing my project for this certain subject, right? Because your main goal, really, if you think about it, would be that you want to graduate. You want to graduate college already. Or why do I want to finish this project at work? Because what I want to do is make my team successful. And I want also to make sure that the work that I do for my business would help me perform even better and develop myself even better. So you have to think of course, the end goal of what you are doing, and make sure that you find your personal motivators to inspire you to do your work even better. And in that way, you're able to also find kind of the way that will also make you relax. Or with your personal motivators, you're able to find what inspires you. Let's say when you run, or let's say when you bake, you're baking cookies. It really inspires you to complete your tasks, because you're working. You're putting together what you love to do and what you really have to do, which is your work or school work. So that's how we look into things also in Optum. If you've noticed, most of our ads or our career ads, it's mainly tying up together what really inspires you, what motivates you into what you are doing on a day-to-day basis. And we're very proud that we're able to marry that on our day-to-day work in Optum. Now, Number six would be setting your deadlines. So again, you've established your routine, you know when to take breaks. But again, it's very important that you give yourself deadlines for tasks that you have to complete. So it also would help you boost your productivity because on a day-to-day basis, you look at your to-do list and it's just so um, like you feel so uh, successful when you're able to complete tasks and when you're able to tick like the checkbox on the to-do list that you have and that you've completed that task. Refreshing and you feel so accomplished when you do that. So again, for my tip here, it's very important that you're able to write down a to-do list for your day-to-day work. And at the end of the day, you check your to-do list. If you've checked everything, then well done. Congratulations. But again, it's okay to review, I think, and make sure that you're able to come back to it the next day and complete that task. Now, number seven is staying connected. So, especially at this time that we're working from home, we barely see each other. Actually, no, we don't see each other during this time, but we see each other only virtually. And, really thanks to technology, we're able to have like certain meetings like this, like with Jobs on 80, we're able to have webinars and we're able to see each other and we're able to talk to each other virtually, but away from physical contact, right? But again, staying connected and having communication with each other is also very important to boost your productivity because it also works hand in hand in not getting burnt out. You don't want to just continue working without talking to anyone. You still need to find ways on how to communicate with your individuals. So let's say with in school, it's very important that you connect with your group mates or your classmates so that you can discuss your tasks and maybe you can learn few tips from each other. Almost works the same way for people who work in the office. We do have weekly touch points or even daily touch points with our managers, with our teammates, so that we're able to still have discussions about our task at hand. So again, staying connected is very much important because and it's very important also that you're able to just really get to relax when you talk to individuals and when you communicate. So again, it's very important to stay connected, especially during this time, to keep productivity and wellness at bay. And lastly, it's really tapping into who you are. So it's very important also to understand what you are interested in. What are the things that would really inspire you to complete your tasks, to be very productive? What type of environment would make you even more productive? So let's say look for a place in your house that inspires you. You can put a plant beside you. I know there are a lot of plantitas right now and they put plants around their workstation so that it inspires them or it makes them really happy. So again, that's also tying up to wellness. It's very important that you are able to inspire yourself while you're doing your work. So decorate your desk or your workstation wherever you are in the house. You make sure that, of course, you have an environment where you're able to concentrate and focus. So it's really looking into who you are, what really inspires you, what would make you really happy, especially during this time. Would a 15-minute break be okay with you? Or how about a 30-minute break? How about an hour? There's nothing wrong, again, with giving yourself a break and also taking care of yourself. It's being kind to yourself. And I think that's what's mainly important, especially during these times. It's important that you are kind to yourself, especially with the adjustment, with the environment around you, and how you are being well supported by people who care about you. That's your family, your student body, actually, the faculty, the teachers that really take care of you because they continue to support you during these times, during schoolwork. And also, of course, other people who really inspire you to continue doing your work. So again, it's very important to look into who you are, tap into who you are, what motivates you and inspires you to do your life's best work. So mainly those are the 8 tips and 8 ways that you'd like to balance productivity and wellness. I do hope that you learned a few things. I'd also like to end my the main topic by leaving you with a quote that I really like, which is what makes you special can inspire your life's best work. And I think this is a quote that really is much related to the topic today because it's really tapping into your authentic self and who you are. And if you really know what makes you special, what makes you tick, what makes you really what really gets you really happy, it can really inspire you to do your life's best work. And your performance and your productivity would come about while you also balance your well being. So, again, that's it for me today. And I really appreciate you all for listening to me and
Thank you for that, Miss Reese.
our
Ma'am? Miss Reese, are you still there? Do
like
we
dot
have her?
com. And like I mentioned earlier,
Spotty lang siya, ma'am. It's breaking up po. Miss Reese? Miss Reese? Let's check with tech. Miss Reese, are you still on our stream? Can you hear me po? All right. So I think she's fixing her connection a bit. So we have a question here. So we'll just park it. So let's try to answer that later for Miss Reese yan. So antay lang natin, maybe a few minutes it will go back. All right. So announcements, guys. Thank you for attending this session. For the certificates of those who attended, make sure that you're registered on the link that we gave prior to the event, because that's where we will get the list of students from each school. So that's one. So if you're a part of that list now, we will be sending it to your guidance counselors, guidance officers, or whoever is in charge for your school, and then they will be the one to distribute it to those who attended the session. All right? Ayan. So, hi, ma'am. Are you back online? Ayan.
yes.
Ayan.
Was
Ma'am, we have...
was my webinar complete?
Yes, ma'am. At least we finished it. You're just into the thank you portion lang.
Oh my gosh, thank God. I thought the whole time nawala.
Di, ma'am, okay na. Ma'am, we have a question here from Isa Carrion. So,
Uh-huh.
ma'am, this is personal. What is the name of the family's organization for children with Down syndrome? And does this organization cater to the needs of those with autism as well?
Ah, yes. Okay. For that, the organization is called the Down Syndrome Association of the Philippines, and there is a separate organization for autism. I believe so, and I think it starts with an angel. I forgot, Angel Wings or something like that. But we work hand in hand with different organizations that are for special children. So if you'd like, you could reach out to me in my email. I'll definitely be able to help you with that. Don't worry.
Alright. Eto ma'am, this one, I prepared this before before the session. So, if you guys have questions, please drop it dun sa comment box natin. But while we're waiting, I just have one question for Miss Reese. So, ma'am, do you think offices would resume to 100% on-site in 2021 or in January? Or is it far? Because we're trying to to aid in the transition. So are we going to transition back babalik na naman ba tayo sa tas another adjustment na naman, or may forecast na po ba
Right.
dito?
Yeah. So for that, I think it would differ for any company. It's very important that the organization is able to look into different business continuity plans, and specifically for Optum, we actually allow working on site. So as you can see, that there's a 90% device, at 90% is just working from home. But we are allowing little by little of our employees, if they need to work from the office, specifically for the people that have connection issues.
They'll be allowed to? Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, am I still here?
Hello, ma'am. Ayan. Ma'am,
Okay.
you're
For
naputol lang yung last sentence.
yes, like connection issues nga, that you're able to work nga in the office. And just as long as there's only 10% of each team that goes to the office. So we're still very strict and we still follow different safety protocols. But I can't say that 100% of the entire workforce would be back by January. Definitely, we'd have to check of the situation that's happening in the country. And then from there, that's when we can move forward to transitioning to what process or what safety protocol we're going to follow.
All right. Ma'am, follow up from Miss Isa Carion. Can we ask your email address to reach you out for other questions? Where can they reach you po? From Isa Carion, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Can they ask for your email address to reach you out for other questions? Miss Reese, are you still there? And so while Miss Reese is fixing her connection, this is a question for me. So is Jobs 180 resume writing solely for student or can it also be used for those employed? So yes, Miss Isa, people with experience and people with no experience or people looking for their internships are welcome to apply. We're welcome to create their own resumes over at jobs180.com. So it's free of charge. You can create and then you can submit to different companies and nandoon po yung postings nila. Ayan. So back to Miss
Yes.
Reese. Ma'am, can Miss Isa reach out to you po for further questions via email address po?
Of course. Yeah.
How
And
can
they
we
can
I don't know ma'am.
always,
I don't know
or they
how
can
we can
chat
give it
me
to her.
on or on Facebook. They can just Facebook message me on Reese Pasha. That's my profile name.
All right. Okay. So I hope that answers your question, Miss Isa. So Miss Reese,
No
again, thank you
problem.
very much for being with us this afternoon. So guys, if you want to check out the list of Optum's vacancies, you can go see it at jobs180.com/Optum. Ayan. So thank you, Miss Reese. Have a nice day po. Stay safe.
Thank you. Good
Ayan.
afternoon, everyone.
Yan. So, thank you po, Miss Reese. Ayan. So, to everyone who is tuned in today, we will now go to our forum. So, our forum is comprised of 4 companies. So, we have Sir Dennis Supetran from Ernst& Young Global Delivery Services. So, he is the Talent Development Assistant Director. We have Miss Stephanie Robles from Engineer, Sir Dennis Pabelico, Senior Supervising Consultant for John Clements Consultancy, and Miss Candice De La Cruz, Area Training Manager for Sykes Asia. Ayan. So, can we please call in our panel? Ayan. So, hello everyone. So, thank you for
Hello,
waiting.
Sherry.
Ayan. Good afternoon po. And so, for our panel, this will be addressed to our students po. So most of them, if not majority, they are would-be graduates. So 2021 graduating population po sila. So more on ganun po yung magiging parang tangent ng ating discussion. So how the segment will go, I will first ask a question and I will address it to the panel to one person and then you will answer. So, pwede rin pong mag-question yung ating mga viewers. So, to start with, I would like to thank you guys for being here, for joining us this afternoon. So, I'd like to ask, kamusta naman po yung mga industry natin? So, we're starting with Sir Dennis from John Clements. So, sir, I think since majority of our audience is fresh grad, no, lahat mag-graduate pa lang po sila. They'd be looking for jobs naman po in the future. Ayan. So, now that we're slowly getting back to our on-site production, does this mean po that there is an increase in manpower requirement for most industries or magiging conservative pa rin po ba yung hiring natin sa mga companies?
Hi everyone, good afternoon. So, is my audio okay?
Yes, sir. I can hear you po.
Okay, good. Okay, so for your question, at this point in time, our clients are starting to build up. They're recognizing the opportunities that they have missed in the previous months since the start of the lockdown. So right now, what are the industries that are really touching base with us are the BPO industries. This BPO industries are really hiring in volumes, and they are reaching out back to us. These are our previous clients, by the way. For new clients, we still have difficulty in getting one, but the previous clients, since we have established a good rapport and relationship with them, they have already gave us requirements for the 2021 ramps. So this is a good sign that the economy is slowly moving forward. And but what really gave me some thoughts are the hospitality industry, because the hospitality industry for quite some time they have been closed and also not moving or remain stagnant. This is due because their industry belongs to, like, for restaurants, airlines, hotels, and it might be difficult to see them moving forward fast in 2021. So right now, it's the BPO industry and the e-commerce that are really moving up the economy in a pace that is well enough suited to move our country forward.
All right. So thank you for that, Sir Dennis. I would also like to ask Sir Dennis naman from Ernst and Young. Sir, since
Yeah.
Sir Dennis from John Clements mentioned that
Mhm.
in other industries the volume is they're hiring for volume, no? So ibig sabihin mabilis yung
Mhm.
transition. So for EY, sir, how fast is the recruitment process from like the
Mhm.
first interview to onboarding?
All right. So our usual turnaround time right now in terms of interview all the way to job offer is close to a little as 29 days. Maximum probably on the average would be like 32 to 35 days. But those are usually, exceptions. Just, within the, period of the pandemic here in the Philippines, during the quarantine status, EYGDS Philippines, we've actually onboarded 502 professionals, and these are ranging from fields in IT, in accounting, tax, and also other professional services. So when you look at like the space that we're occupying, professional services, so whether it's consulting, whether it's tax services or whatnot, I think the demand is still there. The client work is still there. It's really just a question of what's the operating model. Is it going to
All
be
right.
like what Christine was mentioning, work from home, a mix of both, or just everyone back in the office?
Sir Dennis, you're breaking up, but I think you finished your ano naman po answer.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right.
I would like to ask this question to Miss Candice from Psychisha. Ma'am, how were you guys affected like in training? Do new hires adapt better before or na-master na din po nila yung off-site training or on-site training po ba nila?
Well, currently, right now for Sykes, we have a mixture of online training as well as on-site training. So mostly for the core skills, which is the team that I handle. When we say core skills, this is more of um, giving the employees the taste of how it is like to be in the contact center, the BPO industry. Um, I would say that we have been able to adapt quickly to the changes that happened. We were able to move swiftly and diligently, and made sure that we were able to accomplish what we wanted, and that is to ensure that there is no stopping with the ramps or challenges when it comes to making sure that we have enough manpower to fill the needs of the clients
All
that we
right.
have.
Okay. To Miss Steph of Factset, ayan, ma'am. Ma'am, I know you're handling a team of parang software engineers, ayan. So, kamusta po yung new hires nyo? How is their performance since yung first job nila ay na in the middle of quarantine? So, are they as productive as those who were hired previously, non-quarantine or di ko alam, not pandemic mga hires, mga ganyan?
Okay. Hello, can you hear me, Sherry?
Yes,
Is it
ma'am.
clear?
We can hear you. Yeah.
First and foremost, good afternoon to all the students from RTU, University of Makati, College of San Jose. So I think we have a lot of students from QC and even from Makati who's joined the live stream in Facebook and YouTube. So hi everyone, and thank you for joining us up to this time of the live stream. So to answer the question, it's a very, very good question to answer. How are the new hires in our software engineering team performing despite the pandemic right now? So it is a big challenge, definitely, during this period because compared to before, the training is happening while the new hires are at home. We don't have on-site training, so because we want to focus on and prioritize the health and wellness of the new engineers. So we tried a lot of strategies before we tried the work from home setup of the training. So the training will still be there. We have like a 1 month training for all the new software engineers in FactSet. So that training is still there, but it's happening in a work from home setup. And the trainers, the training committee, try their best to make the training still interactive, still of high quality. There's a lot of video calls along the way. There's a lot of like Q&A sessions. Aside from that, we try to be more understanding of the situation of the new engineers given their connectivity issues. So compared to like many live streams, we have them study their topics on their own time, but we will have like a Q&A session at a particular time later on. The Q&A session are also recorded to help the new engineers. And while they're on the job itself, they have their mentors, and it's up to them and the mentor to find the right way to touch base to make sure that they're doing well. And then once they're done with the training, they will be added to their actual team. And then in the actual team, there may be like daily stand-ups, one-on-ones with the manager, and there will be a lot of like interactions during the day and during the week. So it's as a manager, it's really setting the goals, making the expectations clear, and making sure that we provide the necessary technical, emotional, and all the needed support of the new engineers. So yeah, that's the answer.
Alright,
Thank
okay.
you.
Thank you, Miss Steph. Ayan. So, this is to Miss Candice. So, this question is for Miss Candice. Ma'am, since we have fresh grads on our audience for right now, so what would be skills or competencies that you'd like them to work on now so their transition to the industry would be easier?
For that, I would say that the one thing that we are really looking for would be your commitment. Okay, I know that it's very difficult, especially now that most of the time we are working from home, and you guys, you're actually studying and doing things on your at your own pace. But the thing is, we always have to remember that we need to learn how to be responsible with what we have to do, because of course you will not be in the academy anymore. You're not going to be in school. There's no teachers going to remind you that, hey, you haven't completed this. And that's one of the things that we are really looking for is, number one, of course, your commitment. Number two would definitely be, you'd have to do things with integrity, because integrity is actually very, very important, especially since you will be doing and seeing a lot of things that are very important to our clients, especially with their security. So that is a non-negotiable when you actually start working.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for those reminders, Miss Candice. To Sir Dennis of EY, ayan. Sir, if I'm a job seeker and I'm not getting callbacks or first interview invitations, no matter how many applications I send, what could I be doing wrong? So this is for the people in our audience who's trying to apply, trying to send out applications in the past few months, but haven't gotten a call back yet. I don't know how to term that. What could I be doing wrong? Sir, I can't hear you, sir. No audio po. Wala, sir.
All right. How about
Ayan,
this?
sir.
Yeah,
Yan, sir.
there. Yep. So, just like what I shared with previous talk I did also with Jobs 180, right? When you're talking about, your resume, even with the content that you put in, it's really highlighting, like right now, given the pandemic, a lot of people are actually going beyond the traditional industries that they're looking, like, if you're an engineering graduate, you go into engineering and industry. So we're seeing a lot of cross applications. So one thing that I can suggest is take a look at what are your transferable skills that you put in into your resume. So it could be as simple as, let's say, project management. So let's say, for example, you're still in, university. You might not think, oh, I'm not handling any big time projects, but even small things, like, for example, if you're the one organizing your family reunions during this pandemic, that in itself is actually a project context. So you can highlight those situations wherein you're able to practice these transferable skill sets, like project management. What else? Being savvy in terms of digital platforms. I think right now, especially with EY and other professional services, we're exploring more and more how we can utilize these digital platforms, like, Office 360, Oracle, Success Factors, to really improve yung teaming, even if people aren't physically together in one location or one area. And so, for example, some of these tool sets are actually readily available to everyone, whether it's a free version. So that's one thing that I would recommend. If you can put in all of those things, one is transferable skills like project management, conflict, community, contact building, right? Second, highlight as well what you've been doing to beef up your digital platform portfolio.
Okay, yan. So guys, digital skills, yan. So if you can improve or enhance yung mga skill sets natin when it comes to digital platforms, that would be great. Yan. So to Miss Steph, ayan. Ma'am Miss Steph, as someone from development or tech side, how can one progress in this field po? Like, do engineers or tech professionals need additional skills, or do companies or employers rely heavily on their technical expertise? Kasi ma'am, we've been doing interviews, mock interviews with engineers, and they always ask this question: is my technical expertise enough?
I think that's a very good question and a common question that are being asked by fresh graduates or those are graduating. So actually it depends on the company. In FactSet, what is more important to us is the analytical thinking skills and the problem solving skills of a student or of an applicant. Of course, how can I say, the expertise on these programming languages like C Sharp, Perl, Python, Cloud, and so many other technologies is a good thing to have. But it always boils down to the problem solving skills of a person and the attitude, how how dedicated, how hardworking, how resourceful a person is. Because it's easy for us to know how to do our job, like or know how to code what we need to code just by googling and by just being resourceful. But the number one skill to have is uh, having a better problem solving skills and analytical skills. And for programming, of course, that would help so that you don't need to search Google every time you have a problem. You don't need to search every time. So that's still good to have stock knowledge when you have that stock knowledge on technologies. And it's not in the theories. If they want to be strong on a particular, like say you have a web developer, you're a mobile developer, or you're a back-end developer. There's many routes for an engineer to go in their to grow in the career. Practice really makes it perfect, I guess. Practice makes your technical skills solid. It's not the theories. It's actually implementing the application, the software on your own and experiencing the pain points and just doing the dirty work to get the technical skill. But again, problem solving skills, resourcefulness, the right attitude is what matters most. Knowing the how, the what can easily be done with the right attitude. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that, Miss Steph. To Sir Dennis of John Clement. Sir, this is the beauty queen question of this session. Sir, what would you advise your fresh grad self if you were to change a couple of things? What would be one thing that you'd tell your fresh grad self? Sir, nakamute kayo, sir. I answer.
Yeah. So my advice to the fresh grads, having fresh grads also in the family, I would see them as, they're excited, to really move to the world of probably the corporate world, the startup world, or the entrepreneurship world, no. But definitely, they should be number one committed in what they would like to do. Second, they should love what they want to pursue, the passion, because you just can't have any jobs that for sure you don't like in the long run, because it would catch up on you sooner or later, like that. So, and then while waiting, there's a lot of skills to learn, no? You should also, as Dennis also mentioned, my tokayo here, develop skills. Skills in whatever you can learn fast, like technical skills or skills in conversation, or probably in on how to communicate well, English communication, or probably if you want to work in a certain field like bilingual, you can study language like Spanish or French, like that. Because essentially, it would be being authentic to yourself that would matter most. It's really hard to have a job that you don't like and just force yourself in it without, reaping the effects of the joy, the one that you're fulfilled with.
Yeah.
So that's how I really would like to communicate myself to the fresh grad.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Ayan. So, at this time, we're going to ask each of our speakers to do like a final message or promotions for your vacancies to our viewers na po. So, let's start with Miss Candice. Ayan.
All right, so thank you, Sherry. So for everyone listening, if you have, or if you're really wondering how it would be like to work in a call center, please feel free to send in your resume at jobs180.com/psychs. We do have a lot of openings. Now, I know some of you might not be that confident yet with your communication skills. Please do not worry about it too much, because we will be there, and especially my team is there to be able to assist you with that. We have always been a believer that, in psychs, we do each and everything one caring interaction at a time. And we will always, yes?
No, ma'am. Continue.
Can you hear me?
Na-break up lang po kanina. Yes, ma'am. Audible na po
okay.
right now.
All right, thank you. And we will ensure that, we will not just give you a job, but a career, if that is something that you are looking for. So we are, welcoming you all with open arms, and I hope to see you, on the site or even on the online classes that we are currently conducting. So hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you for that, Miss Candice. Miss Steph, please invite the viewers to check your vacancies or join your team po over at Faxit.
So, first and foremost, thank you for this opportunity. And for those who are interested to apply to Faxit, you can go to jobs180.com/Faxit careers. And for software engineering positions also, I will be sending the links in the Facebook chat. So we have software engineer intern, software engineer 1, and software engineer 3 openings there. And once I comment in the Facebook chat, you can also directly message me for any questions you have access on applying on a software engineering role. And I sincerely wish all the students and non-students good luck in finding the right job for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Steph. Let's go to Sir Dennis from John Clements.
Okay, so just to really figure out probably what John Clements is now, because probably many of you might be thinking, who is John Clements or what kind of company is John Clements now? So John Clements is a recruitment company. It's another term is a headhunter. So we work with various clients. So rest assured, when you apply with us, your resume is multiplied many times. Because for example, if we endorse you to one client, then you failed, then we could also endorse you to another client of ours. So right now, presently, the most active clients that we have are the call center companies. So we have clients that are really hiring in volume, like a financial call center company, an insurance call center company, and also a credit card call center company. So yeah, you might say why in a call center, but this would also develop your nature in speaking, in communicating, and also in dealing with people. It's a good start, though, yeah, and it could also really lead you to what really you would like in the future, because you this is a dynamic company, especially in call centers, because there are a lot of opportunities that you can learn inside. And then we also have opportunities in the finance and banking and insurance. Very few though, but there are still openings that we have, especially for selling insurances. But these are full-time employees, not the part-time.
Okay.
It's not really selling, but it's also, getting investments from clients and those stuff. And lastly, we also have an active company that's hiring for the pharmaceutical company, those medical representatives. But this would start by quarter 2 of 2021. So far, those are the companies that I can recall that are actively hiring right now. So if you'd just like to have those opportunities, just apply with us. It's crawling here under the screen.
Yeah.
Our email for not only for me or for us, but also for my co-panelists. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Dennis. Last, Sir Dennis from EY, your parting message and your promotions po.
Yeah, and thank you, Sherry. Again, final message is really, take every opportunity as a learning opportunity, and continuously check your resume, how you can reflect those learnings that you picked up, whether it's in an official work capacity or even non-official work capacity, because all of those skills can really help contribute for you to have like a strong presentation for employers. So for EY, majority of the open positions we have right now are for accounting services, and as you know, EY is one of the big four accounting firms. But aside from those, positions in accounting, we actually employ a lot of diverse professionals, ranging from consulting to tax, even to professional services like HR services. So please do go ahead and check up our link in jobs180.com/EYGDS. And you can also take a look at our global EY career site so you can learn more about our organization. Same as with everyone, EY really has a big commitment with education. In fact, we're one of the few international companies that actually provide an opportunity for anyone, and I mean anyone, even if it's just your day one in EY, you can actually enroll or involve yourself in a tech MBA program. So this is a postgraduate degree created in partnership with Hult University. So that's something that we're very proud of, and we actually have a lot of our Philippine employees already beginning their journey to get that MBA program, and all of that is actually free of cost because all of the resources, all of the partnerships have been funded by EY from a global perspective for all 350,000 employees. So that's it. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you for that, Sir Dennis. So thank you to our panel for joining us this afternoon. We hope that we see you guys in the next few sessions. So maraming salamat po for always supporting these events for our students. So thank you guys. Thank you po sa ating
Thank
students.
you.
Bye po. Stay safe.
Stay safe,
Ayan.
everyone.
All right. So that's it. If you guys have no questions, sorry. We have questions. Sorry. Yeah. Looking at it. Okay. Wala. Yan. So, if you guys have no questions, kung wala na talaga kayong tanong, we are done with our 3 parts. So, to officially close this session, may we invite Miss Alexis de Guzman of Miriam College for our closing remarks. Ayan. Miss Alexis, are you in our yan?
Yes.
So, hi, ma'am. Thank you for staying.
Thank
Ayan,
you, of
ma'am.
course.
The floor is yours, ma'am, for
Thank
closing
you,
remarks.
Sherry. And so, just to end this, I'd like to end it to the quote that says, "Each job requires a conscious choice of a career path and a different plan of development." So, thank you, Jobs 180, for this webinar that would help, of course, our students as they start exploring options for their career paths, and as well as looking for resources that would help them start their careers. So, despite the COVID pandemic, you have limitless opportunities and resources available to you in just one click. So I hope all of you are seizing all the opportunities available to you, especially now that you are handling your own time like this, just like the webinar that Jobs 180 is doing. So I hope all of you do seize all the opportunities that are open to you, because right now is the right time to do that. So, all right. Thank you, Jobs 180, for this webinar.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Alexis. Thank you for staying po and inviting your students. And
Of
so thank you,
course.
ma'am. Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
So that's it. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have more questions, please send it to our Facebook page so we can try to address it. So we can forward you to the company or link you to the employer if you want to. So please watch out for the next set of webinars that we are hosting for Cavite State University. We have another one for University of Visayas. We have a couple of others coming before the end of the year. So please check our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed for each session. And you're welcome to join in those sessions too. Ayan. So just register lang kayo. So see you guys and have a great afternoon. Ayan. So happy weekend. So